Hey, so this video is a little bit different because in this video, well, things are changing. This has been my office for a little while and we are about to relocate. So this video is going to be talking about that relocation just a little bit and a little bit of behind the scenes. So let's get into it. So here's the thing. A little while ago, well, we've been part of a little church plant here in, well, the city we've been living in for the last few years, New Plymouth, New Zealand. And so that church plant closed down back in July 2020. So we're in the process of actually relocating. So in this video, I'm going to talk you through a little bit of that relocation. Now, this is, I'll give you a little office tour, but here's the key thing. This office and the books and everything that you see here, it's all going to be packed up. In fact, we've already started. As you can see here, we've already started the process of packing. Boxes have started to be put together, and we're in this process now of actually moving from one location to another. Let me give you a quick view of some of the things that we've got here so that you know kind of how I have been working a little bit and how this room has been laid out, and then I'll talk you through the other side and what that's going to look like as well and how I hope that to look. So let's get into it. So let's switch to the handheld, and that's what we got now. And let me take you through a little tour of the office, I guess, library, studio, whatever you want to call this. Well, this is, as you can see, this is the corner you've been used to. This is kind of the area where I store the books that I'm going to use most often. And you can see that I've actually already started packing up some of these books. So I've got a few of the book ends here still. Nothing particularly fancy, and you can see there the boxes down there where some of those books have started to be packed up. Let me show you the other area that I have here, and as I do, you'll see a little bit of a tour and a nice big window that I really like. And you can see over there, well, you probably can't see, but I can see over there a little bit of ocean, which is really nice. So I get this really nice view and lots of natural light, which is all really good. And then over here, this is another set of shelves that did have books on them until very recently, which are now again on the floor in boxes, unfortunately. So that's kind of my shelving system and my all my books. Let me show you over here. I'll show you one of the other things I really like here, and that is this desk. Now this desk is a standing desk that I designed using some templates and places that I saw, things that I saw on Pinterest. What I found during my PhD program is that I find it easy to fall asleep when I read, particularly if I'm reading a lot and if I'm really tired, which often happens when you're reading a lot. And so what I did is I found the trick. I actually, at that point, I was in a place where I had a pulpit and I would stand up against that pulpit and read. And I found this would be a really effective way of getting through a lot of reading. And I was able to read about 1,000 pages a week in one semester for that particular, with using that style. And so I thought, this is so good. And so I ended up creating this, or designing and creating a desk that I can stand up at and use consistently. And you can see I've got underneath there a little bookshelf, and on that bookshelf I can store the books that I use pretty regularly. So I actually use this for my devotional reading, and so with my devotional reading I stand up and do my devotional reading. Again, it helps me stay awake, and also it means that I'm completely manual, so I don't use my phone or any electronic tools when I do my Greek and Hebrew, at least I try not to. And if I do need to look something up, those tools underneath there are the ones that I go to, because again, it's going to help me look things up and take more time. And as I take more time, there's great benefit in that. So that's the standing desk. I really like the standing desk. It's really, really helpful and allows me to read in ways that I wouldn't otherwise be able to do. Now, I don't read quite as much as I did during my dissertation period and my PhD period right at the moment, but I hope to get back to that at some point in the near future when I finish creating videos for Greek courses and things. Anyway, let me switch over to the desk area. Now, here we are back at the desk area, and this is a standing desk. I really like this desk. This is fairly new. I got this not long ago. It goes, obviously is up and down, so I like to stand up and work as well. I do sit down as well. I sort of mix it up a little bit, but it gives me a lot of flexibility, which I really like. And you can see behind that, in terms of technology, I have just a Mac Mini, which you can see there. It's a decent spec. It's a year or two old now. but it works great. It's that new latest generation. I got it not long after that latest gen came out, before the silicon ones, I guess, which at the time of filming aren't out yet. So if you're watching this later on, I don't have a silicon Mac at the time of filming. Maybe I will later. Anyway, you can also see I have about a 29-inch screen. I use the Logitech keyboard and mouse. I love this Logitech keyboard because it allows me to put my phone in here. Here's my Kindle, I could put that in there. And then I can use Bluetooth to connect to it and type on it, which I really like. So I like this keyboard. It's really convenient, and you can see by switching these 3 buttons here, I can switch between my computer, my phone, and my iPad. And so that means that I can bang out messages really quickly, and I really like that. And of course, this is the Logitech MX Master 3, which is a really popular mouse. I really like it. It's got a wheel on the side as well as on top, and so it gives you a lot of flexibility, and it's a lot nicer to use, I think, than the Apple Magic Mouse. On my screen is just a LG 29-inch screen. I probably will replace this as soon as I can afford to. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I just want a bigger monitor, and I'm still not sure what size, but we'll get to there one day when I can afford it. I have this also. This is really good. This is a Stream Deck, and this is originally started in the world of gaming. But what I like about the Stream Deck is that these are all programmable buttons, and of course each one of those buttons has an image on it which you can customize. And so if I switch apps here on my phone, on my computer, you can see that it will actually switch to give me customizable hotkeys for the app that I'm working in. Here's Zoom, and I've got customizable hotkeys set up for Zoom. If I switch to Logos Bible Software, you can see it gives me different buttons again for Logos Bible Software based on the ones that I need regularly, including ones to switch off my light up here. Now this is also by the same company that makes the Stream Deck, that button thing. This is an Elgato key light, I think it's called, which I find really good. It's a nice thin LED light, which allows me to film and have just a little bit of light on me, which is really nice. It's easy to customize. You can change the color temperature. I really like that as well. And then up here I've just got a Yeti microphone, which is connected to my computer, and primarily I use this for the webcam, for video conferences, Zoom calls, and also for filming lessons inside Master New Testament Greek as well. And then finally I have my iPad over here, and then I have this lamp which I also like, which is just I think it's by Shelving, the company that makes the phones, but it's a Wi-Fi based lamp, so I can set it on a schedule. I pretty much never hit the button there, but you can customize the colors, like the color temperature, so you can have it at a sort of a blue light blocking at night, and blue light, more blue light during the day, and so on and so forth. So I really like that, and that's on a schedule, so this room lights up and turns off pretty much as it needs to automatically without my input. So that's all of this has to be taken to the new place. All right, well, we're making some progress. You can see I've got all the books off the shelves now. Next step is to take the shelves down. So we've moved into the new home, and I'm just working through the study. This is the study, and you can see this is the door, goes out onto the street, which is kind of interesting. And then if we turn around here, you can see I've actually been starting to assemble my desk and finally get that set up. Finally, I say, we really didn't move in until 7:30 last night. It's now, it's like 9:35 or something in the morning the next day. So we're getting it underway. First thing I want to do is with the desk there is to get the desk set up so that it's up and running. So I've been working on that, and so the computer, I've just put the computer on the desk, I've just put the monitor on the desk. I also have, you can see over here, I have a TV that was actually left to us by the previous owners. Now I have an Apple TV which I'll be able to plug into that, and hopefully I'll be able to use that, so stay tuned for that. A couple of things that you might notice straight away. First up, the noise in here is kind of echoey. There's also a little bit of street noise. I'm not sure if you can hear that or not, but those are the sorts of things that I have to start thinking about. It's actually a lot better with the boxes of books, and I have to deal with my books. So all of that yet to come. Stay tuned. All right, well, we're making some progress on the office. Okay, so I've done a reasonable amount of work. We're getting it slowly sorted. There's still a little bit to do, but I'm going to give you a quick update. Now, first of all, we're not done. We've still got, there's boxes, everywhere still. It's a mess. But I have put this shelf here, okay? Let me just back away from it a little bit so you can see the whole office. And you can hear there's a lot of road noise, so I'm going to work on that yet. But this is the office. You can see I've got some panels. I'll talk about those in just a moment. The desk is set up. I have lighting is all looking pretty good. So I'm actually really happy with these lights up here. They're really just the bee's knees. So if you look in the corner there, you can see my reading desk. Let me take you over and we'll talk about the setup here for the desk. Now you can hear even just, I'm not even right behind the desk here, but you can hear just in this little change here, the echo is nowhere near as bad. And that's because I've got these panels around the place, and these panels are, I believe, see, these were here when I got the house. So the house has got like these ones, there's a few more sitting around as well, and they seem to me at least to be sound deadening panels, and even if they're not proper sound deadening panels, they're certainly doing the job. And you can hear that the echo is largely gone. I can still hear the road, unfortunately, and I have to work on how to fix that, but these are doing a great job of dropping that echo down. And so this is really the study or studio or whatever you want to call it, and there's still a lot of changes to take place here as well. Now the desk is probably where it'll stay. I might move it a little further that way, just so that it's up against the back of the shelves there. And you can see around here, so behind me here, right here, I'm actually going to have some bookshelves here. Not all of my books are going to be here. I've got another area that I'm going to use for really storing and reading, which is going to be more deliberate. This is really going to be the things that I need on a day-by-day basis, and probably just a few decorations. And I've got some other ideas for this space as well, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm not sure if I'm going to put a shelf up here to replace this black panel, or with some more books, or whether I'm just going to put the panel up. And the same over here. This panel over here will probably end up having to stay to break that sound. It does make a difference, so I'm going to probably cut it down to size. Right now it's a bit too long, and there's a heater underneath it there, a little fan kind of heater built into the wall that it's currently blocking, so I need to replace that. And I've got a whiteboard, which has been something I've wanted for a long time, and it comes with the house. It's amazing what's coming with this house. So sound panels, whiteboards, all these cool lights, it's great. So anyway, that's an update on where we're at. Just a couple other things here. Down here you can see, again, this is a shelf that was built into this room, so I'm utilizing this just for a few books. I normally have a few books just right at hand there, because I'm often turning around and picking them up, or the books that I'm about to review or am reviewing or recently reviewed in some cases. And you can also see these little things here. Now these are a little slightly sentimental in one sense. These are awards I got from the time when I was at Microsoft, and there are really 4 of them. There are a few others that I haven't unloaded yet, and I probably won't bother with. This one here is one that I got for being part of the marketing team of the world. This was a global award, so we won the Global Marketing Team of the Year award. This one was for 5 years at Microsoft, and you can see it's got this lovely big chip out of it, which means I've dropped it. This one here is probably the one I'm most proud of. This was one I got for across Asia Pacific for some work I did here in New Zealand, which really, was adopted in some ways across Asia Pacific. It doesn't matter what it was. And this one here is just a Performance Excellence Award. They gave these out reasonably regularly. They're quite good at celebrating success and wins, and so this was the last one that I received. I've got a few others as well, which are a plastic one. This is the nicest one. So those are just there for sentimental sakes, really, and to remind me that I can, I can succeed occasionally. Over here, I've got a couple other little memorabilia things just for what it's worth. This one is a personal note from John MacArthur from when I graduated with my Master of Divinity. This one here is from my PhD supervisor, and it's just a short note he wrote, very, very simple. The day I did my comprehensive exams for my PhD, he wrote in it, breathe, pray, trust, work. And it was really good advice, not just for my comprehensive exams, which are notoriously difficult, but also just on a day-by-day basis. So I keep that there to remind myself to do those things, to not be overwhelmed, but to keep moving forward. So that's a little bit of how I've got things set up. I'm going to come back again with a little bit more once we're a little more finalized, just tell you what I've done. But that's it for the moment. There we go. So I've just put up some shelves. So we've got a little bit of shelving here now. Well, at least we've got the supports for the shelving. So the next thing is to put on some shelves. So let me do that. So as you can see, I'm not shelving this up like I did with the old place because, well, I don't want all of my books in here ultimately. So I want this shelf here to be a shelf with a smaller number of books, really the key books that I use a lot. I've also got a bookshelf over here, so I'm going to put some extra books on that, but this really has to look good because it's going to be behind the camera most of the time. And now that the shelves are up, it is time to put some books on. So let's do that. And there we have it. So that's it. So we've now got our shelving set up. Everything's looking pretty good. Still got some sound issues in here which I have to work through yet. There's one more thing that I just want to show you very quickly. A little thing that I put in. Hey, how about that? That looks a little bit better. So it's coming together. A few more things to do here, specifically on that side of the room and the sound deadening. But we're getting there. And if you're interested in Biblical Greek, which is really what all these books are about, then head to masterntgreek.com/roadmap and download your roadmap to mastery to learn how to go through, beginning Greek all the way to mastery of Greek. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. See you then.